Hey, good morning. So we are now 4 days away from the end of the Toddler-Pocalypse campaign, which is like feels very far away and very, very soon at the same time. It's been a hell of a ride. Learned a ton that I'll be taking into whatever I create next. So yeah, this has been something. Very excited to share this book with everybody out there. Speaking of sharing, I'm sending a copy of this to Malta, which is incredible. It just kind of hits why I love this platform so much. There's no way I ever would have been able to get a book like this, like to Arizona, never mind Malta. So if you're my Malta backer, I mean, thank you. That's a very cool thrill. We are 53% of the way to adding more pages to the book. That's going to be our stretch goal, is to put more pages in the book. Right now, this book is full of story. It's pretty much like, and thank you, good night. These extra pages let's breathe a little bit more, put a little extra in there, kind of show you behind the scenes, and make sure everybody gets their spotlight, because that's incredibly important to me as well. I mean, not only as a fan of artists, but a fan of these artists helping make this book come to life. I want to make sure that if you dug what they did, that you can go find them and follow them, and they can bring joy into your life the way they have brought joy into mine. So today, since we are nearing the end, it means we're getting final pages in. So I'm just going to spend a little bit of time showing off some pages from the book because that's good stuff. We're going to go to you first. As Diana mentioned in the live stream yesterday, this is probably the first story that was born out of the Toddler-Pocalypse idea. You is drawn by Clay McCormick and lettered by Ellie Wright. Colored by Ellie Wright, lettered by Justin Birch. This is our zombie story, riffing a little bit on the cliche of staying in the house, but I'm always fascinated with kids, what they do and don't find gross or scary. Something that we think as adults would be innocuous is the most horrific thing in their lives, and things that we think are like super gross and disgusting just become magnets for them. So kind of wanted to play around with that. Our zombie apocalypse story. I think I'd mentioned earlier that one of the things I wanted to do with this project was really be as loose and open as possible with these stories while still giving all the artists the lanes that they needed to be in. And the reason I like doing that is because then you, as the co-creator and writer, get to be surprised. I didn't ask for any of these type of zombies to be in here. I'm pretty sure I just said it's basically like a glass cage. I don't even know if I said glass cage, but they're zombies. They're being they're captured. They're being experimented on. And then this is the miracle and the beauty of comics. You hand something like that off to an artist like Clay, and then he puts his own twist on it. And so we get this wonderful panel with all of these different types of zombies on it. Yeah. Pardon me. Let's get some thumbnails going since this isn't. We've got, our scientists, and this is kind of what I'm talking about. This spider. This little spider is what our little Elias in the middle of the zombie apocalypse is most scared of. Slightly inspired by my son, who sometimes will refuse to go into the basement because one time he saw a many-legger crawling across the carpet. And not that anybody's favorite animal. I mean, maybe your favorite animal is a many-legger, but I get it. But again, I've seen him do and get attracted to a lot grosser things. And so we kind of just wanted to play around with that. That in the middle of the zombie apocalypse, the grossest thing in the world is what he would be exactly drawn to. And I mean, I also can't say enough good things about Ellie Wright's colors. Just absolutely gorgeous. I love her palette. I love her. I don't know if thickness is the right word, but I think the palette and just everything about how she brought it to life is just absolutely wonderful. And it's what I love in comics. It's what I'm drawn to. And yeah, I think Clay and Ellie and Justin make for a fantastic team. So if you are an editor out there and you're looking to put together a team for your book, I cannot recommend those three enough. And then the other one I want to share today is one that I have been looking forward to sharing for a while now. This is Blue Car, art, colors, and lines by Kath Lobo, Justin Birch, again, tying the entire book together with his letters. This is our, killer tidal wave idea. And I mean, I have been, like I said, just an absolutely huge fan of Kath Lobo since the first time she crossed my Twitter timeline. She was definitely one of those, man, wouldn't it be great if people? And she said yes. And it was absolutely wonderful that she said yes. I mean, just her ability to bring like all of these just mechanical elements together, and then you flip the page and the emotion. Like again, the reason I love artists is this feels like up close magic to me. And to see it come together the way she did is just absolutely gorgeous. I love her coloring palette as well. I love her artistic style. Like I said, being able to go from these very human emotion but still nailing just this pile up of cars. Kath, if I owe you an apology for asking you to draw cars and a lot of cars, your next meal is on me if we ever get to meet together. Again, another cool thing about comics these days is this is like an international group of creators. Again, without Twitter, never would have been able to connect and work with this talented group. So again, I'm just very, very grateful. And again, what Kath did, and I'm only showing you 3 pages because I don't want to give away the rest of the story, because it's a beautiful story. I know I went in like with tongue very much in cheek with all of these stories, like kids, and also went in very loose with the scripts. So this thing wasn't fully like scripted out. I broke out the panels, we broke out the pages. So like in this page, the script probably said they're running up a hill. Panel 1, panel 2, they look scared. Panel 3, they've reached the summit and they're catching their breath. Panel 4, the little boy is, crying. That's probably the amount I went with. Because again, I'm a believer in giving artists as much room as possible so they can do their thing. And if there was a line of dialogue, I would let them know, or I would say, hey, like, let's look at that first panel. It's like, hey, there's probably going to be 3 caption boxes. So please just give me enough room that it can all fit. That's about as specific as I got with these scripts. And what Kath brought back in her 8 pages is a story that truly didn't need any dialogue. You could follow each page, even in the black and white pencil inked version, you could follow each page and you knew exactly what was happening, which was incredibly freeing when the words didn't have to prop up the art and vice versa. The art didn't have to prop up the words. So what Diana and I got to do with this one is really think about, what is this story about? Like, yes, on the surface, it's a family trying to run away from a tidal wave, and then the gimmick kicks in, our inciting incident kicks in. But it gave us a chance to like really be free on the writing end and figure out what it was. And what I kept coming back to was, what would you be thinking? What would I be thinking if I was running with my kid trying to get away from a killer tidal wave? And it really just kind of came down to I will do anything to keep my kids safe. Um, and that's just a hyper uh, aware version of kind of like what parenting is every day. You just want to keep your kids safe. If they're sad or they're scared, you just want to help them through whatever they're going through. And sometimes it's just a matter of there's a test coming up. Hopefully not a whole lot of killer tidal waves, but that core belief can be expanded out. And that's what we got to talk about. And the freedom to talk about that came from the incredible storytelling from Kath. So this one, and this one helped remind us as the writers that yes, the tongue in cheek might get the laugh and might get someone to look at the book, but it's truly the heart that will power the story and that will keep people coming back and maybe hit them in a way that they didn't expect and elevate this book a little more. If this book is more than what I thought it could be because of the incredible artists like Kath, Clay, Ellie, and Justin. And the next 2 days we're going to show off all the other books or some of the other stories because, like I said, we are coming near the end. So thank you for checking out those. Thank you for listening to me babble a little bit. Most of the time I just look at these pages on my own on my computer and just have these conversations with myself. But I truly am blown away by the craftsmanship, professionalism, and just pure talent and storytelling ability in this book. It's blown me away. And I am so thankful that I got to work with these, I guess, 13 amazing artists, and we're going to show off more as we go along. Again, 4 days left. We are 47% of the way towards unlocking some more pages. So if this is your bag, come on board, share it with friends, let people know. And because the bigger the survival group, the better chance we have of making it through. Thank you all so much. Have a great Tuesday, and we will talk again soon. Bye.